Hey, um, yeah, so my name is Lana, and this is a sprint one presentation and our project is the Taiyaki cards. So, running back to our proposal, so the problem statements that we identified is that as college students, we often face a lot of challenges when it comes to engaging in the class materials, staying organized, and also retaining the knowledge over time. And whether it's understanding the concepts or managing deadlines or to developing really good study habits. And a lot of us struggle to find a system that works for us and help us increase productivity. So the proposed solutions that we have is a flashcard study program to help us students learn terminology using a proven learning method called the active recall. And in this application, students can go create Word decks based on the course topics, practice with them, and also track their progress later on. Okay, so progress update after sprint one so far. So on the front end side, me and Eddie has implemented the login and sign up pages, and we're working also have to create the functional UI and connect them with the backend to send and retrieve account information. And
Yeah.
front end again, okay.
Oh. Yeah, for backend, we finished the user login route. So like what front end doing we did with their login and sign up with their
Oh, sorry.
login page, as well as being able to like put that in the database and like making sure the password is correct. Um,
Yeah.
and then we also got the sign up route as well, which also connects with the backend, make sure that the password is make sure that like with and puts the password in the database as well so that we can retrieve it later on from login.
Okay. And that's a progress update. So for the software test, so we wrote out a few tests for ourselves for the specifically for the login sign up routes. So first test case, invalid password is when a user already had an account, they try to sign in, they input an invalid password, precondition, the account must already exist. So, as I mentioned, you should still go log in and put the username and the incorrect password, and the expect result is that it should not redirect the users, and the app should prompt to display an error message and prompt the user to try again. Next test case is valid login is when user log in with correct credentials and also given that account already exists. And in that case, it would just redirect to the dashboard. And one of the indication we would be putting that is would be the nav bar will contain the user's name to indicate that user successfully logged in and logged into their account. So next is non-existing user. So it's when user logged in, but their account hasn't existed in the database yet. So um expected result, user is got redirected and also an error message prompting user to try again. And next to say sign up success is when preconditional username and email are not or has already taken by a different user or a different account. And once users go to the sign up screen, input their information and password, accepts the condition, submit, and the expected result is that it would uh, create a show a success message and redirect to the straight to the dashboard or the login screen. And the final test case is where users sign up with a duplicate username. So, for example, when user go to sign up and the username that they chose already existed in the database, so the expected result is that it will not redirect, and the error prompt should tell them that username already taken and prompt the user to try again. So those are the software tests that we have.
And kind of a reiteration of what we accomplished during our sprint one. So the main three things would be the account creation with email verification, both in the front end and for the account login and session persistence, connecting the front end and back end with the account database and the account flashcard database. They are separate, but we got both of them done. Then next slide, please. And then here's our Kanban board. So we were using this for sprint one. This is a screenshot of it. As you can see, in the finished, we had the database setups, the UI, and the API, and we also did some testing. We're still testing the flashcards itself since we didn't want to we didn't plan to finish it by sprint one. And sprint two, we're going to continue on with that flashcard features and the UI for that.
So looking ahead at our Sprint 2 backlog, our main focus is going to be finishing up the front end and back end connections to our flashcards. Right now, the flashcard routes are finished, and we just need to work on connecting them to the front end. Then we'll work on making the front end and back end for our decks, which includes making the routes for deck creation, modification, and deletion. This should be a straightforward task since the decks are essentially extensions of the flashcards. Finally, we're going to begin working on active recall and quiz modes for our flashcards. We don't expect to finish them by the end of Sprint 2, but we want to get the foundation started. Next slide, please. Fortunately, we haven't encountered any major issues while working on the actual project thus far. There were some minor issues with viewing some of our older gyro cards, but that's been fixed now. So overall, our next steps will be refining the accounts and ensuring everything is working smoothly there. Then we'll focus on finishing the front end and back end connections to our flashcards, along with connecting the flashcard database to the accounts. Finally, we'll create the front end and back end deck features, and if time permits, we'll start working on the flashcard study features.
All right, so I'm gonna be doing the demo. I'll share my screen right now. All right, I think I need permission. Oh wait, yeah. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is basically our entire repository. It's split up between the client and server files. With the client basically holding the React app and then the server holding the database and the Express.js API. So right now, it's currently running right now. This is the React server on one terminal, and this is the Express.js and database on another. We're currently using DB Atlas to run it, and a cool thing about that is that we can actually see the like what's inside the database directly. So because it's running right now, I can give you an overview of our login function. So as you can see, email, I use my full name and the password is ABC123. Yes, it's login successful. Welcome is also my username. And then also for signing up, see, I'll choose like um ABCDE, sign up. And then as you can see, if I reload the page, it should show up in the database. Yeah, right here. And then I can go back into login. And this can show my username again. If I type in the wrong password, example, let's say login failed, invalid credentials, I can also try signing up with a username that's already taken. And there should be an error message. Yeah, email already in use. And that's basically it for the main features for connecting the front end and the back end together.
Sweet. That was a really, really great presentation. I can tell you guys have made a lot of progress, obviously, on the login and sign up. Those tests also looked really great. Like, it was really nice how comprehensive you guys were with like all of the HTTP error codes, and like covering every single case for login and sign up, and then also demoing that. So, really fantastic job. I think you guys covered everything that was needed on there. So yeah, just don't forget to upload the recording to YouTube and then you'll be all set for this. Professor, I see that you joined the presentation. Do you have anything to add?
No, I'm just hopping around different presentations that fit into my schedule. But yeah, great job, guys. I think you had everything that was needed. The presentation was well presented and contained everything that was needed. So you're making good progress. Good job.
See, yeah, you guys are all good to go, and I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great Halloween.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Happy
Thank you,
Halloween.
you too. Bye.
Yeah.